David Winkler had always lived with shadows at the edges of his perception. They came unannounced. Sudden flashes of events yet to occur, tragedies and accidents he could not prevent. Sometimes it was a car skidding on ice, sometimes a child falling, other times a quiet home consumed by unseen disaster. He felt the pull of each vision in his chest, a sharp tightening that left him breathless, hands trembling, and a hollow sense of inevitability in his stomach. He carried these images everywhere, invisible companions that shaped every step, crossing streets, entering buildings, even choosing his breakfast stall filtered through the lens of what might come. Fear had become constant, a whisper in the night, reminding him that knowledge was a burden heavier than grief itself. The most painful visions were those that echoed his own loss. When he glimpsed a child in danger, the memory of his infant daughter gone too soon rose like a spectre. His chest tightened with guilt, despair, and helplessness. Could he intervene without making matters worse? Each moment of action was a gamble, each decision a test of courage and morality. David moved through the world like a man running on a knife's edge, caught between fate and free will. The audience sees him in empty streets, under flickering streetlights. A solitary figure burdened by visions that haunt him with a clarity no one else can see. Even as David navigated his visions, his personal life suffered. Love became a dangerous territory, its fragility amplified by the constant tension of foreknowledge. His wife, once his closest confidant, now regarded him with a mixture of worry and distance. Every glance he gave a stranger, every nervous pause, was a reminder that he could not fully participate in life. The fear of harm stretched across relationships, making trust fragile and intimacy a constant negotiation. David's protective instincts were magnified beyond reason. He hesitated before sending his children to school, lingered at their doors longer than necessary, and questioned every social interaction. To him, every risk held the weight of potential catastrophe. Love, meant to feel safe, became another source of fear. He struggled with guilt for wanting to shield them from harm, while knowing that overprotection could isolate them more worse, provoke the very accidents he sought to prevent. Tension mounted as his wife pushed back, demanding normalcy, confrontation, and honesty that David could not fully provide. Every intervention carried unpredictable consequences. Saving a pedestrian might set another disaster in motion. Preventing one death could inadvertently lead to another. He became a ghost in the city, present yet absent, moving through crowds while the world went on oblivious. The cinematic imagery is vivid. Dim streets at twilight, rain-slick pavements reflecting neon lights, David's solitary silhouette racing through alleys, heart hammering with tension. Every movement is deliberate, yet fraught with uncertainty. Even as he acted, he longed for stillness, a pause that the world would not allow. The audience feels his isolation, the relentless pressure of consequences, and the terrifying knowledge that a life lived fully if, even possible might always be out of reach. David could not escape the past, no matter how far he ran. Every vision forced him to reflect on what had come before, on the losses he carried silently. His daughter's death remained a gaping wound, unhealed and unyielding. The memory of her cradle, empty and silent, pressed against his chest with every heartbeat. Every attempt to intervene in the present was haunted by echoes of past failure. He began keeping meticulous notes, tracing patterns, and analyzing decisions with painstaking detail. Every choice, every hesitation, every misstep became a lesson, a moral ledger he carried in solitude. Regret was a constant companion, whispering doubts, reminding him of consequences too late to reverse. Yet, confronting the past also gave him perspective. He saw that not all outcomes were preventable, that not every tragedy was his to stop. Accepting accountability did not mean surrender. It meant learning to navigate the delicate balance between action and consequence. Cinematically, this section unfolds in quiet rooms, rainy evenings, and long walks down empty streets. Shadows stretch along walls, and reflections in puddles mirror internal turmoil. The audience senses the weight of memory and moral responsibility, seeing a man shaped by grief, yet learning to measure his actions with care, courage, and self-awareness. David's foresight brought him face to face with danger more often than he cared to admit. Every vision was a warning, yet acting upon it was never simple. He confronted moments of peril, cars barreling toward intersections, gas leaks threatening neighborhoods, moments of violence in dim alleys. Each intervention carried its own tension. The slightest miscalculation could escalate the very disaster he tried to prevent. The city itself became a labyrinth of suspense. Rain-slicked streets reflected flickering neon signs. Empty parks felt ominously quiet. Shadows in alleyways concealed threats both real and imagined. David's senses were on constant alert, heart racing with the knowledge of what might unfold. The audience experiences the adrenaline of each moment, the anticipation, the silent calculations, the tension between instinct and caution. Yet, danger was not only external. Human unpredictability tested him further. A frightened driver, an impatient pedestrian, a misinformed neighbor, all decisions were interconnected, and every act of help could ripple outward in unforeseen ways. David wrestled with responsibility, morality, and consequence. Realizing that control was an illusion and the cost of intervention could be far higher than anticipated. Through it all, he moved with quiet determination, navigating risk with intelligence and intuition. The suspense is cinematic. Moments stretch, tension tightens, and danger hovers, unseen but imminent, leaving the audience to wonder if foresight can truly save a life, or if some tragedies are unavoidable. Even in the shadow of peril, human connection proved a fragile lifeline. David encountered allies, people whose paths intersected with his in unexpected ways. Some were strangers who became temporary partners, trusting him without full knowledge of his gift. Others were family, grappling with his eccentricities, slowly learning to walk alongside his reality. Through these bonds, he discovered a rare form of resilience. Trust became a currency more valuable than foresight itself. Shared moments, quiet conversations over coffee, fleeting gestures of care, and understanding glances provided relief from isolation and the weight of responsibility. The audience sees the subtle power of human connection, a touch, a nod, a smile carrying the weight of unspoken acknowledgement. Yet trust was never simple. David's interventions often placed others at risk, testing their patience, loyalty, and courage. Bonds were strained, sometimes broken, but they also offered grounding. He realized that no vision could replace the presence of those willing to share the journey, even when danger loomed. Cinematic visuals abound, soft lamplight spilling across kitchen tables, streets alive with unseen threats, and fleeting moments of warmth amidst tension. David's solitude is punctuated by companionship, illustrating that while foresight may illuminate paths, human connection provides the courage to walk them. With foresight comes ambition and desire, not only to prevent disaster, but to shape the course of lives. David faced choices that tested both his skill and his ethics. Every decision carried potential consequences, some obvious, others lurking unseen in the future. The delicate balance between action and restraint weighed heavily on him. He attempted interventions of increasing complexity, warning communities of hazards, redirecting city traffic, or subtly influencing human behavior to avert harm. Each act brought new questions. Was he overstepping, imposing his will where fate might have otherwise resolved matters? Could one man's vision justify altering lives unknowingly? The tension is palpable. Streets glisten with rain, shadows stretch across alleyways, and the hum of distant traffic underscores uncertainty. Audiences experience the thrill and anxiety of near misses, split-second decisions, and moral dilemmas. Every choice is a gamble, every step an exploration of human ambition tempered by conscience. David understands that control is an illusion, that his foresight does not make him infallible. Yet he cannot stop acting. He teeters on the edge of control, confronting the consequences of ambition while navigating the moral gray zones that define responsibility. The cinematic suspense lies not only in danger, but in the psychological stakes of knowing too much, caring too deeply, and risking lives to do what feels right. The culmination of David's journey arrives in a series of confrontations, both external and internal. He faces truths long avoided. The limitations of his gift, the unpredictable consequences of intervention, and the enduring pain of loss. A final, high-stakes vision forces him to act, risking both life and morality. In a tense cityscape, the audience sees David move with purpose and hesitation. Streets are dimly lit, alleys twist unpredictably, and shadows hint at unseen hazards. Every step carries suspense, every decision carries moral weight, confrontations with strangers, allies, and even himself reveal the fragility of human courage, the persistence of hope, and the complexity of responsibility. Through this crucible, David realizes acceptance is not resignation. Accepting what cannot be changed allows him to act decisively where he can. Courage emerges not from invulnerability, but from the willingness to face risk, uncertainty, and personal consequence. Visually and emotionally, the sequence balances tension with reflection. The audience witnesses a man reconciled with the paradox of his life, foresight as both gift and burden, knowledge as both power and prison. In these moments, truth and revelation become intertwined, teaching that bravery lies not in perfect action, but in facing the unknown with awareness, integrity, and resilience. As the story draws to a close, David's journey becomes one of quiet endurance. He has seen the edges of tragedy, the limits of foresight, and the complexities of moral responsibility. Yet, in that tension, he discovers the subtle grace of human connection, resilience, and hope. The audience witnesses him walking through familiar streets at dawn. Golden light spills across empty squares, reflecting in puddles, and the hum of the waking city underscores the fragile promise of each new day. He watches people interact, laughing children, cautious drivers, neighbors, exchanging smiles, and recognizes the impact of his choices, small though they may be. Each life touched, each disaster averted, each act of kindness becomes a quiet victory. David also accepts that some loss is unavoidable. His daughter's absence remains a silent echo in his heart. But endurance, he realizes, is grace, the courage to continue, the compassion to act despite uncertainty, and the willingness to embrace connection despite risk. Hope is not dramatic. It is small, incremental, human. The cinematic imagery emphasizes reflection and resolution. Soft light, rain-washed streets, distant laughter. Suspense remains, but it is tempered by understanding and acceptance. Life is unpredictable, fragile, and beautiful. The story closes with David moving forward, aware, but no longer paralyzed, a man shaped by foresight, love, and the enduring strength of grace.